morning, everyone. Before we begin formally, let me present the flow of the program. We will begin with the welcome address, followed by a brief introductory video of the university. Then we shall invite the esteemed representative, Ms. Praveena Bharat of Deakin University, for the presentation. Then we shall request the resource person to answer a few questions raised by the attendees in a Q&A segment. We shall conclude the session with the vote of thanks.
No matter how talented or skilled you are, you will never reach your full potential without expert guidance. Students need guidance to explore and plan for their future, and this should be based on their skills and interests. Participation in guidance programs provides academic and career-based experiences, helping them to decide their future.
Once again, good morning, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to wholeheartedly welcome dignitaries from the Ministry of Education, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Honorable Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, members of the various Board of Directors, CBSE officials, distinguished members of the MOE Oman, officials of the Embassy of India, Sultanate of Oman, Mr. Alkesh Joshi, Honorary President of the School Management Committee, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, presidents and members of the school management committees of all Indian schools in Oman and from other schools and boards across the globe, principals, vice principals, heads of various departments, coordinators, teachers, parents, staff, and students of all participating schools. Welcome all. Your hosts for this morning are myself, Zoya of Class 8, and Lyle of Class 11 from Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir.
Dear audience, it is our pleasure and privilege to have you all here with us on this journey of transforming your dreams into reality.
Dear audience, you are requested to fill in the feedback form, which will be posted in the description box towards the end of this session. Filling this form is necessary as it would fetch you a participation certificate.
Today, we are honored to have with us an eminent representative, Ms. Praveena Bharat from Deakin University, who would discuss programs and courses the university offers. Deakin University ranks in the top 1% of universities worldwide. One of Australia's leading tertiary education providers, Deakin offers a personalized experience enhanced by a world-class program and innovative digital engagement, leading by creating opportunities to live and work in a connected, evolving world. Deakin University has 4 outstanding campuses in Melbourne, Geelong, and Warrnambool, and a premium online learning platform that exceeds any other in Australia. All students enjoy unlimited access to world-leading facilities and a friendly, welcoming atmosphere, regardless of whether they're studying on campus or online. The university also has corporate and learning centers that provide meeting, study, and event spaces to both students and the communities they serve. Now, let's watch a video presentation about the Deakin University. That was indeed a splendid video. Now, I call upon our guest speaker for this session, Ms. Praveena Bharat from Deakin University. Over to you, ma'am, for your presentation.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Sam.
Thanks, Zoya. Um, Good morning to you guys, and it's literally good afternoon for me from Melbourne in Australia here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about Deakin University, and thank you for this fabulous video, Lyle, that you managed to find and show. And this just shows a literal snapshot of what the university has to offer. So like I said, I'm calling from Melbourne, Australia, which is one of the Southern Hemisphere, southernmost tips. And we here are ready to welcome summer, unlike you guys. So without much of an introduction, I'll go to talk about our university, the Deakin University. Most of what was covered by Lyle. But like you rightly said, we are a very young university, and we've been ranked in the top 50 young universities in the world by QS, top 50 under 50. We're top 1% of universities worldwide, which means we're doing something right and well. For us, our biggest proud moment or appreciation comes from the fact that our students have been rating us highest satisfaction levels amongst all Victorian universities in the state for now it has become 11 years in a row. So clearly we're doing something right towards keeping our students happy and working towards their future. We're also ranked Victoria's #1 university. So for those of you who are trying to understand what Australia is, if I had to just quickly rewind on your 8th standard geography, we obviously have different states. Sydney is New South Wales, Melbourne's Victoria. Most of you would know Melbourne if you follow cricket or tennis. The world's first Grand Slam of every year starts in Melbourne. So in Victoria, the state of Victoria, there are about 7 universities, and we've been rated #1 for student support, #1 for teaching quality, #1 for education experience. That's conducted by the Student Experience Survey by the Universities Australia. #1 university career service in Australia. I think this is very important for parents who are thinking, oh, I'm sending my child overseas. What are they going to do? How are they going to find their job? If it's a new place especially, how are they going to make sure that they transition in very well? Well then, parents, this is for you. Leave it to us. We will handhold your children through their first jobs and second jobs and many, many jobs to come thereafter. So this was done by the Australian Graduate Recruitment Industry Awards. We've been voted the winner for the most popular career service a few years now. We have a growing reputation in terms of rankings. So we are a very young universities, established in the 1970s compared to most other Australian universities. We've definitely been growing in our reputation in a range of disciplines, as you can say. So we're a global top 100 in accounting, finance, education, computer science, and engineering. I understand that's of interest to a lot of students in your region. Metallurgical engineering, nursing, sports science. We are rated top 3 in the world for sports science, telecommunication engineering. We are global top 150 in hospitality and tourism, law, philosophy, sociology. And then a range of all of the other aspects. Automation and control would be of interest to a lot of you, I'm assuming, one of the futuristic technologies that's here. So just to show you how we've been faring, in the world rankings in 2012, we were literally under 500. So we've been working our rankings up, and I'm sure in the next few years, you're probably going to be seeing us in top 50 in every one of those ranking charts. In 2012, we were not anywhere under the under 50 QS ranking. This year, we're the 26th. Like I said, we're very proud of our sports science field. We are ranked 3rd in the world. For all of those sports buffs, we're looking at either sports science or sports management. Then you have to look at a Deakin program before you choose another one. We're ranked 31st amongst universities worldwide for education. So if you want to be a teacher, if you have one of your teachers who have influenced you and you think you want to make the same kind of difference, then Deakin is definitely an option that you should be looking at. We're ranked 30th among universities worldwide for nursing. So for all of those nurses who've done such a fabulous job during this COVID, and for the to-be nurses, if you're looking at some of the courses, then Deakin is something that you have to definitely explore. We're ranked top 150 in computer and engineering and top 100 in accounting and finance. So Deakin produces a lot of world-class research, and a lot of, obviously, the research work translates into your undergrad education. If you're wondering, why is she talking about research? How does it make a difference to me when I'm going to be studying a bachelor's degree? It makes a big difference. What we do in our research translates into, obviously, your textbook notes. And these are the researchers who are going to be coming and teaching you in your class, and you get an opportunity to work with them very closely. So we have 4 research institutes. We have 13 strategic research centers. We're working on a range of themes like improving health and well-being, designing smarter technologies. This is big on agenda at Deakin. Enabling a sustainable world. The video just you saw spoke so much about the sustainability and green revolution that we do in our campuses. Advancing society and culture, which I'm assuming a lot of universities do take keen interest, because that's what produces the next generation of students that you want to be and how you contribute to your society. We have a lot of research collaborations around the world, 6 cooperative research centers. Cooperative research centers are very a different kind of research center. It's unique to Australia. So when we say CRC, or a cooperative research center, that involves an academic institution, industry, and they all come together to resolve a world problem. So we have 6 of those in our campuses. All right, that's all about all that we do in terms of discipline. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how big we are as a university. We have over 66,000 students in our campuses, but if you're probably wondering, oh my goodness, I'm going to be lost, but you're looking at sprawling campuses. Some of the aerial views that you saw in that video showed we have 4 campuses, a 5th cloud campus. Deakin was one of the pioneers to introduce a cloud campus in Australia. So we were able to seamlessly integrate our face-to-face teaching into an online medium when COVID made it impossible for students to come to campus. We have about 15,000 international students. So that's about 20 to 25% of our cohort, depending upon which campus you are in. And our top 5 countries are India, China, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, and Pakistan. But you also have a 70% cohort of Australian students studying in our campuses. So it'll be a very good blend of students from around the world, giving you ample opportunities to network, explore, brainstorm your ideas, and coming from people from different backgrounds. So that's a breakdown of all of our campuses where the students are. And we welcome students from over 136 distinct home countries. So like I said, ample opportunity to collaborate and take your ideas big. So when I introduced, I told you, look, that's Australia for you. And if you remember, I told you we were in one of the southernmost tips. So that's somewhere where we are, if you can see us. It's a long flight, actually. From this point, if you had to actually come down to here, it's a good 5.5-hour flight. So for most of you who jump on an airplane from Singapore and you're wondering, hey, I can already see Australia, but where is Melbourne? You have to come another 5.5 hours to get here. So it's a really large continent with beautiful landscapes, a lot to offer for everyone who has interest in landscapes. Blyle introduced our campuses. So that's where Melbourne is. That's sitting right on the Port Phillip Bay. And that is the campus Geelong. Geelong is about, I would probably say, 30 minutes drive from Melbourne City. You can also take a train in there. And this is the Great Ocean Road. In the Great Ocean Road, if you travel up 7 hours, you get to Warrnambool. But there's a shorter way. Just take a train from Melbourne's Central Business District, and that'll take you in 3 hours in country into Warrnambool. And we have the train station actually is on the Warrnambool campus. So not very hard, just get down, hop off and go into your accommodation if you're looking at studying in Warrnambool. If you're all wondering why should we study in Melbourne, Melbourne's been ranked as the third best student city in the world uh, uh, for many years in a row, actually. This is the QS Best Students ranking in 2019. It had been ranked as the most livable city for nearly 11 years until COVID struck, and we went into a lockdown of over to 60 days. I think now our ranking would probably be for the city with the maximum number of days in lockdown. But that was with a intention to make sure that our communities were very safe. It's a safe, welcoming, multicultural city. If you're just going by the breakdown of students in just Deakin's campus, you can definitely see that it's a multicultural city. There's never ending. There's so much to see. Food and live music and festivals. So as good as a student you are, you also get to enjoy a good lifestyle in Melbourne. So that's all about Melbourne and Deakin. Before I proceed to respond to any questions about the university and the faculty, should we take any questions? So Loyal, what do you think? Should we wait until after?
Ma'am, there is a Q&A segment which will be moderated by our teacher.
Excellent. So we'll probably wait until then. Thanks, Lyle. So I will now come to what are some of the popular courses that we have to offer, some of our faculties, and what is on offer for some of you who might be interested in studying. Now, I'm not going into details of any key courses, and that's where I would like you to register an appointment to meet with me one-on-one on Calendly. And I think that's going to be posted on the chat for you guys to register. I will meet with you one-on-one on the 7th of November, and we can discuss specific courses. So we have 4 faculties on offer. There's faculties of arts and education, business and law, health, science, engineering, and built environment. And we offer a range of courses across the wide spectrum of levels: undergrad, postgrad, high degrees by research. And if you just wanted to do a micro-credential, we also offer non-award programs. Some of our key areas include architecture, business, communication, creative arts, education. Remember, education was top 30 in the world for us. Engineering, environment, food and nutrition, health, humanities. So you can see that literally A to, except we do offer zoology as well under science. We offer everything under the range. What are our key areas that we offer at the undergraduate level in arts and education? Some of the key study areas include communication, creative arts, education, humanities, and social sciences. So if you just take a picture of the QR code, that'll take you to our landing page of arts and education courses. And some of our key courses include arts, criminology, communication, and a range of majors under communication. Film, television, and animation is big at Deakin. For those of you who want to be a teacher, we offer education in early years and primary. Now, one thing that's different to a lot of other universities at Deakin is that we offer 3 intakes, because we offer a trimester model. So you can start either in March, which is our Tri 1, in July, which is our Trimester 2, or a lot of courses are offered in November. So for some of you who are finishing up in June, if you'd like to take a little longer break and come and commence in November, that is definitely a possibility. So the courses that have a Tri 3 intake would allow you to commence in November. CB, as we call it in short, Faculty of Science, Environment and Engineering and Built Environment. Study areas include architecture and construction, engineering, environment. Environment's big in Deakin, information technology, and sciences. So there's another QR code for you guys in case you just want to take a picture and go to see what are the specific courses on offer under. But broadly, some of the popular courses include architecture, civil engineering, electrical and electronics, mechanical mechatronics, software engineering, cybersecurity. I know a lot of our current students are interested in taking up cybersecurity. BNL, or Business and Law. So like the faculty name goes by, it's business and law. And if you'd like to have a detailed listing of what we have to offer there, there's a QR code. Bachelor of Business Analytics. This is another popular area for a lot of students. Sports management, of course. If you're ranked 3 in the world, we have to offer sports, isn't it? Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Laws are some of the other areas on offer in business and law. Health is a very big faculty. We offer practically everything under the area of health. Food and nutrition, health, medicine, nursing and midwifery, psychology, and sports. Sports and nutrition is big at Deakin. We offer a very specific area in sports and nutrition, allowing for a lot of you who are very sporty to try and understand what your nutrition needs should be according to the kind of sport you undertake. So those are some of the popular courses under health. Medical imaging. For those of you who are interested in occupational therapy, we have an occupational therapy on offer. If you'd like to study optometry, that's studied through a generic Bachelor of Vision Science, and then you progress into Master of Optometry. This is usually a very common question. And so I've put up a QR code. Deakin has 2 major international scholarships. We have a Vice Chancellor's International Scholarship for 100% or 50% tuition fee reduction. You have to complete an application form with an essay as to and detail why you would like to be considered for this scholarship. For anybody who qualifies for the criteria listed, usually 85% and above, Deakin International Scholarship would offer you a 25% tuition fee directly for the duration of the course. So those are the 2 major scholarships. We also would periodically offer faculty-specific scholarships. For those, I would recommend you jump on the website because these would differ based on the course that you would like to apply to. And the QR code will take you into Find a Scholarship web page. A common question, especially when you come to study undergrad, that people ask us is, what sort of accommodation options do you have on campus? We have on-campus accommodation for students in all our campuses, and those are approximately the weekly costs that you're looking at if you had to actually take up a space. This would include usually everything, electricity, internet, connection. So that's for the on-campus accommodation. If you are keen to apply for an on-campus accommodation, I would strongly recommend that you apply early enough because these are usually very popular and getting a place can sometimes become very tricky. Plenty of off-campus accommodation opportunities around the campus, and Deakin would allow you, help you to find accommodation. A listing will be on the website, and as soon as you enroll, we will give you all of those options for you to look up and apply for. But personally, I would strongly recommend that you do not apply from your home country and accept any space. Please arrive here a week before. Book yourself into a temporary accommodation as long as you can, until you can find a suitable spot, because some of your preferences can be very different, and usually internet doesn't really give a good indication of if the space meets your priorities. So arrive here and then book into an accommodation. A lot of our students also go into homestay. So what's a homestay? A host family, an Australian host family home will host you home, which means you go and live with them as a family, and they will cook meals for you usually, and you do a few. You become a member of the family. This has a lot of benefits because it allows you to settle in very easily into the Melbourne culture, especially if you're coming for the first time away from home. Now, we've given you an indicative cost of what you're looking at expending on an annual basis, and that's a breakdown. This again is available on our website should you want to refer back at a later point in time. but that's what we're looking at per week, and some of those are per month costs. So it would be a good idea for you to budget around $20,000 at least a year towards your living expenses. This is outside the scope of your tuition fee, and that would be a good budget to work with. I'm sure you also know that you're allowed to work 20 hours part-time every week. That's more like 40 hours every fortnight during your semester, and unlimited during semester breaks. There's a lot of casual jobs, and Deakin can help you find those jobs around. And those can supplement some bit of your living expense as well. There's no dearth for clubs and societies on campus. Over 150 clubs. I've just been invited to the Diwali party that's going to happen on Wednesday, but this year we're going to be doing it virtually, of course. There is support at every level as a student when you come in, especially, and it's the first time you've been away from home. There's a lot of academic support to help you transition into our academic way of living. So there is online tutoring services, academic societies, student support services, you name it, it's there. Health and safety, this will be a concern to parents when they're sending you away. Pretty much everything, our campuses are self-sufficient. There are medical centers, a support system, there's a security officer who are there all the time. You just need to ping them on the app and somebody will come and get you if you're working very late in your library. So plenty of student services. I'm not surprised, and you should not be surprised why we've been ranked #1 for student satisfaction for 11 years in a row. This is our award-winning graduate employment services. Deakin Talent. The way a few years ago, Deakin reviewed our way of supporting students to find their jobs and enter into their workforce. So one of the things that came out, and our Graduate Employment Center did, was started working with the students as soon as you enroll on how you go about building your personality towards finding a job. So there are lots of seminars that happen all the time. So you've got the Deakin International Students Careers Program. So it's called the DISC program, where the range of programs that they run to help you prepare you for a range of skills of how you answer interviews, how do you get your resume ready, and they handhold you through this process throughout the course of your study at Deakin. Interns at Deakin is a very interesting program. Actually, let me talk about the Freelancing Hub. What Freelancing Hub does is to just give you a idea of how to work, how workplace requirement is, and prepare you. We actually identify roles in not-for-profit organizations where you can go and work for a period of time, pick up those skills. Those come very, very handy. Interns at Deakin's another one where a lot of our courses actually have embedded work integrated learning as a part of the program. And interns at Deakin help identify internships for students to go and work while study in a related area to their study to pick up those skills relevant to prepare you for the workforce. A lot of the times you're actually told that students who go as interns end up finding a job because the employers know you, they've seen your work, and that becomes a very easy passport for you to find the job. Deakin University English Language Institute. For some of you who are looking at enhancing your English language skills, this is a good place to start, because some of the courses in Australia, like nursing and English, nursing and education, require higher level English. So you're looking at an IELTS of 7 and no band less than 7. Law is another one. So if you don't meet those requirements, then Duelli will prepare you to enhance your academic English skills to the level of what the course requires you to be at. So that's on campus too. So you can commence a program at Duelli and then progress into your principal program. So like I said, there are some courses, if you can see here, they need an overall band of 7 and no band less than 7. And sometimes it's possible that you're having not the best day when you're doing your IELTS, and you might need these extra support, and Dually can help you achieve that. Now I'll talk about Deakin College. Deakin College is a fantastic pathway if you want to go into your degree. However, for 2 reasons, you would choose not to commence the program at Deakin University, but you would like to start at Deakin College. Now, if you can see here, if you've done a year 12 equivalent, you can start at a diploma in Deakin. Now, what are the reasons that you could potentially commence this? One, is you don't meet the requirement for direct entry into the university. Then what we do is we put you in Deakin College, and that's a good way to work 1 year there and then come into second year without losing time. The other reason is as an international student, sometime when you're coming this far into a country, you might want an extra support system. Now, the Deakin College's programs are designed exactly sometimes like the school, where you have small classes, where there's support system hand-holding you through. So you transition into the university very easily. Our progression rates are nearly sitting at 90%. So there has never been a student who didn't successfully make it into year 2 with the support system that's available at Deakin College. So for some of you who might be considering that, and especially for parents, if you're concerned about sending your child into a year 1 directly, this is an option that I would strongly recommend you consider. So how do you apply? It's a fairly simple process, but you don't even need to go through all of this because you have Studyco right there who can help you identify and handhold you through the process. So a Studyco rep is there who is able to help you identify and apply to us. So this is the Agenda 2020. I'm sure this is obviously evolved now. We're probably going to call it 2021. Brilliant education. We are committed to becoming Australia's premier digital academy, providing cloud and learning. Now, you know what? We didn't even have to do that, I think. Because the pandemic literally propelled us to excel our offerings in the cloud space. World-class research and training future researchers, international research footprint, research that makes a difference to our communities is high on our agenda, and delighting our students, staff, clients, and friends. This is something that we've been doing very well, I suppose. That's it. Thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. It was truly an enriching and empowering session. Ma'am, may I request you to answer a few queries which have been raised by our valued audience?
Sure.
I would also like to invite the moderator to proceed with the Q&A session.
Good morning, Ms. Praveena Bharat.
Good morning.
It was indeed a very comprehensive session. There are some questions asked by our aspiring participants. May I ask you, ma'am?
Yes, fire away.
Thank you, ma'am. What are the prerequisites for seeking admission in DU?
Usually, your year 12 CBSE qualifications would suffice. Very rarely we would ask for a prerequisite subject. It can be anywhere right from 65% through to 85% depending on the course. But your year 12 CBSE results are good enough. Does that answer?
Yes, ma'am. Do you have student exchange program or transfer program?
Yes, plenty. I think we have exchange partners in over 150 countries. How that works usually is the exchange program is advertised. You go and apply. There is a unit called Deakin Abroad that will help you identify a optimum research partner, exchange partner, and then you apply to the university and you can go and study there. Usually a transfer doesn't happen unless it's a campus transfer, like we have another campus overseas. At this point in time, we don't. when you have to apply for a transfer, you have to apply to the other institution of your choice, and then they will assess credits based on what you have studied at Deakin. But exchange and study abroad are opportunities that you have in plenty. Study abroad is an opportunity where you go and spend a semester or two, and then come back to your principal course to complete the program at Deakin.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there astronomy and astrophysics course available in DU?
Yes. So astronomy and astrophysics is actually taught not at an undergrad level. You should probably be looking at some of the other universities, which I'm sure Studyco can help you. If you're looking at somewhere in Victoria, Monash is a good option. If you're looking at South Australia, Adelaide would be a great option. But at the moment, Deakin only offers it at the research level.
Thank you, ma'am. Does DU provide double degree program?
Yes, we do have a few double degree programs on offer. Now, what are double degree programs? Double degree programs are when one program recognizes the electives of the other program that condenses the whole duration of a program. So normally, if you're going to be studying a 3+3 program over 6 years duration, that can be condensed anywhere between 4 to 4.5 years, depending upon what electives we are able to match. We have a few double degrees on offer that will allow you the breadth of opportunities. Definitely happy to discuss one-on-one based on your interest level.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you offer 100% scholarship based on SAT scores?
Now, I have to address this question of SAT score. Okay, I was talking to a few students recently, and some of them had this perception that Australian universities would accept a SAT score. Australian universities, so the concept of SAT comes from America, where their year 12 is not a nationally graded one, where they have regional bodies that recognize their year 12, and hence, there is a necessity for a subjective component, and that is SAT. In Australia, we do it differently. So we, in Australia, have a national year 12 level exam. Each of the state has its own exam. If you're familiar with the Indian structure, very similar to that. And there are rankings based on that. Now, when we look at an international qualification, we try and map to see if what a student in Australia would achieve is comparable to what your CBSE result is. And we map and say, if you have this much in CBSE, then that is equivalent to what a student in Australia would have received as an admission criteria. So hence, it is an objective academic requirement for you to come in, and we don't have a subjective requirement. Having said that, when you have to apply for our Vice Chancellor's 100% scholarship, there is a subjective component, obviously, because in that program, you would actually be matched with a mentor right from the first try you arrive on campus. They are preparing you for leadership roles. So there is an essay component that you have to write to say why you would qualify or you should be considered for that scholarship. So there is a subjective component, but that's not SAT. Having said that, there are some universities in Australia that do accept SAT scores as well. So those might be great options for you to consider if you have a very high SAT score.
Thank you, ma'am. What level of English language do you need to enter into DU?
So different courses require different levels of English language. And I'm going to explain to you why. Arts usually needs a 6.5 in IELTS. In some instances, we also accept a very high English score from year 12 CBSE. But there are some courses like law where you would be a practicing lawyer, which means if you're going to bar, your English level needs to be much, much higher. So we ask for a 7 there. Nursing is another one where we ask for a very high level, because right from the first trimester, we would put you in clinical placements in hospitals where you'll be doing patient interaction. If you're doing patient interaction, then we need you to have very high level of English to be able to communicate to a native English audience. That's the same thing with education. you're teaching our young minds of the future. So if your English level is not to the level of a native English audience, it becomes the communication can be very challenging, and hence teaching requires 7. Now, I have to say it's not DU set standards. All of these are set by the professional bodies. All of the undergrad qualifications have to be registered with the respective professional bodies for you to practice as a teacher, as a nurse, as an engineer. Those bodies set what is the optimal English. And so we take you in at that level. So when you come out, you're ready to register yourselves into those respective professional bodies.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for patiently listening to all our questions and answering. It was really a wonderful session. Thank you once again. Handing over to our comparers, Lael and Zoya.
Sure. Before I finish off, if you'd like to meet with me one-on-one on the 7th of November, please, I don't know where the Calendly, is there a link that we've provided somewhere?
Yes, ma'am. It's there
in the
chat
Calendly
box.
link, and love to meet with one of you, with each of you, and discuss your specific courses one-on-one.
That is truly an exciting opportunity for all our students. Thank you, ma'am. We are truly grateful for your relevant, valued, and patient answers to all our queries. I'm sure the participants are enlightened and have got a true picture about the prospects available for them at your esteemed organization. Attendees, do remember to fill in the feedback form.
As we have come to an end of this session, I reckon it a privilege to put my gratitude into words. On behalf of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir, the organizing team, and the entire audience, let me first express a profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said for the magnanimous benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower abundant blessings on His Majesty and this peaceful and prosperous country of our residence. We extend heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Ms. Praveena Bharat from Deakin University. Thank you, ma'am. The session was truly informative and enlightening. It opened up new vistas in front of us. Our deepest gratitude to Dr. Sivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, and other members on the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams, for your encouraging presence and guidance at all times. Our sincere thanks to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, the President of Indian School Wadi Kabir Management Committee, and other members of the committee for their overwhelming encouragement at all times. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our tower of strength and source of motivation, our beloved Principal, Mr. D.N. Rao. Honorable principals of all the participating schools in MENA region, vice principals, assistant vice principals, coordinators, supervisors, and the entire teaching community of all the participating schools for their support, guidance, and active involvement.
We are indeed grateful to our platinum sponsor, Studyco, gold sponsors, Jain Group of Institutions, Grey Matter Academics, Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education, and Vellore Institute of Technology. Bronze sponsors, Middle East College, Thapar University, MIT World Peace University, Pune, and Dallas Baptist University. Our digital partner, Spectrum, and our media partner, The Arabian Stories, for their support in making this mega event tangible reality. I wish to thank each and every student and parent for their valuable presence in making this session of our Global Career Fair Avenir 2021 a grand event. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. My earnest and heartfelt thank you to my ISWK team behind the scene, working tirelessly in making Avenir 2021 a tangible reality. Thank you all. See you soon for the next session. Take care and have a wonderful day ahead.